in the space where it asked me, what did you accomplish this year? I didn't know what to put. I didn't know what I succeeded at. I didn't know what I failed at. I didn't know what I could improve on. Now, with all that said, how can anyone be successful with achieving any kind of goal in fitness or in life without that kind of feedback, right? There's no way. Welcome to the Fit Body Transformation Secrets podcast, where we talk about how to permanently transform your body with practical, sustainable, and proven strategies to help you reach your goals, keep your results, and live a more fulfilling life. I hope you enjoy and subscribe. I've always been one to set goals for myself in different areas of my life, just because it's been a way for me to know that I am progressing and moving closer to the things that I want in life. But there was one year, though, an entire year, that I didn't set any goals, not one. No fitness goals, no family goals, no personal goals, nothing. And I remember going to a mastermind meeting where my business coach at the time, he would have a bunch of other fitness business owners all meet up. We would talk about like what's working, what's not working in our businesses, how to improve our clients' experience, and just come up with different strategies to not just improve our business, but also to improve our overall quality of life. But for this one particular meeting, my wife and I, we drove out to Vegas, and on the third day of this mastermind, what they would do is they would put each of us on what they called a hot seat, the hot seat. And that's where that person would share their goals, their struggles, and whatever ideas they have to overcome those struggles before getting feedback from our coach and the rest of the group. Now, this wasn't my first mastermind with my coach, so I knew it was coming. The only difference was that for the last 6 months or so, I went through an extreme spiritual phase in my life where I was just kind of flowing through life, just taking everything day by day. My business was doing pretty well. My family was healthy. And even though I've always been grateful and content with what I have, during this period of time, I took it over the top. Okay, I was meditating for an hour a day, every single day. I grew out my hair, I grew out my beard, and again, I went to the extreme, right? And that's just my personality. I usually go all in on something. But anyways, so when it was my turn to share, I told my coach, everything's going great. I'm happy how things are, and I don't have any goals. And when I think about it, it's pretty funny because I've worked with this coach for several years prior to that point, and like we're really good friends. We know each other's family. We hung out a lot, so he knows me, and he knows my work ethic. He knows my values. He knows all that, and he knows that I'm super goal oriented. So when I said that, he kind of just looked at me and laughed, and like he was confused and was like, "What do you mean?" So I continued with that kind of mindset for about another 6 months or so, and at the end of the year, when I was reflecting on my year in my planner, in the space where it asked me, what did you accomplish this year? I didn't know what to put. I didn't know what I succeeded at. I didn't know what I failed at. I didn't know what I could improve on. Now, with all that said, how can anyone be successful with achieving any kind of goal in fitness or in life without that kind of feedback, right? There's no way. So from that point on, I got back to my normal routine of setting goals, and not only have I been able to achieve even higher levels of success with my fitness, my family, my business, but I truly believe it has helped me become a better husband, father, and a coach from doing so. And so that's what I want to share with you today, is how to set your goals the right way, because there's definitely a wrong way of doing it, which is going to keep you going in circles and holding you back from hitting your goals. So let's get into it. There's an acronym that you may have already heard of that can give you the framework for creating goals effectively. And the acronym spells out SMART. Okay, so S stands for specific, M stands for meaningful, A for achievable, R for relevant, and T for time bound. Now, we're going to take this a step further by adding a couple extra additional steps that build off of those, so that you can always be progressing towards your goal. And that is to E for evaluate and R for readjust. And all in all, the acronym is going to spell out SMARTER. Okay, so smarter goals. So let's go over each of these letters individually so that you can have a better understanding of why creating smarter goals is going to be crucial to your success with your fitness and really any other goal that you set for yourself in your life. Okay, so first letter is S for specific. Most people, they set a general goal to lose weight. And guess what? when they lose 1 pound this week, they're frustrated, even though they actually accomplished their goal. And here's the thing. It's like the universe has a way of giving you exactly what you ask for, meaning what you focus your attention on, you will more than likely work towards. And without a very specific goal, there's no real target. So the more specific you are with your goals, the more likely you're going to be to reach them, or at the very least, you're going to come much closer to accomplishing those things than you otherwise would. Okay, so be very specific when setting your goals. The next letter is M for meaningful, okay? Everyone wants to look good and feel good about themselves, but not everyone is willing to do what it takes to achieve that. More than likely, it's because they're not clear about what they want and what's truly important to them. And knowing your, I would say, deeper sense of why you want to accomplish a goal. And in terms of fitness, you have to look beyond the aesthetics, because that's what's going to help you persevere and work through the challenges that are going to come up, because life is not perfect and things are not always going to go as planned. And here's the thing. People don't just want to lose weight for the sake of losing weight. They want to lose weight because of what they believe that weight loss will bring them. Maybe it's self-confidence, security, better relationships, and so on. So take as much time as you need to figure that out and figure out why you want to achieve that goal in the first place, and then keep digging. Okay, don't just stop at the base layer. Keep digging until you find the reason that's so important to you that it's going to force you to hold yourself and your actions to a higher standard. All right, next letter is A for achievable. Okay, now I'm a very optimistic person and I like to set my standards pretty high. At the same time, I'm also a realist and I look at what's possible for the most part, especially in the short term, right? So for example, if you have 50 pounds that you want to lose, right? Let's say, it would be unrealistic to think that you're going to achieve that in a month or two. I mean, especially if this is something that's been going on for months or years now, right? And anyway, that kind of weight loss in that such a short period of time, I wouldn't even consider healthy. But again, that's a side note. To give you an idea for weight loss, losing about 1 to 2 pounds per week on average is 100% doable, sustainable, and a healthy amount of weight to lose per week. All right. Now, depending on where you're currently at, you can surpass that, or maybe you can even be slightly below that. But again, you want to look at your progress over a period of time to see if you're roughly around that area. So when you are setting your short-term and long-term goals, make sure that they're achievable. And you can use the numbers that I just mentioned for weight loss specifically, but at the same time, it can't be too easy that it doesn't get you excited, because if you're not into it, you're probably not going to do what you need to do, or it just might not be worth it to you, right? All right, next letter is R for relevance, okay? It's important that goals that you set for yourself are aligned with your identity and your values. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself throwing in the towel and quitting before you even get started. So I'll just give you an example here. One of my top identity traits and core values is being a better father, right? Being a great father, making my family a priority and enjoying time with them. So one of the things that I've adjusted in my own personal fitness goals is to be able to make it possible to enjoy ice cream with my daughters or some kind of dessert and make time for them every day, which means I have to be strategic with my workouts. I have to be strategic with my nutrition and with my work so that I could do those things. And it's important to figure out what your non-negotiables are. It's like, what are you not willing to give up? And then plan your fitness goals around that, not the other way around. Or at the very least, maneuver things around so that you can feel fulfilled in all the areas of your life that are important to you. All right, moving on. Next letter is T for time bound, okay? This is such an important piece of creating the goals because it gives yourself a deadline to reach them, okay? Whether you reach them or not isn't really that important, but it's so interesting to see that when you have a specific goal that's meaningful, achievable, and relevant with a time limit attached to it, somehow you find a way to make things happen beyond what you normally would if that urgency wasn't there, right? So you got to give your goals a time frame, because if you don't, then you're going to be working on trying to achieve those things for a very long time if you ever even get to it. So I also want to point out that the time frame is not just that, which it gives you a deadline, but it also may allow you to change your strategy, right? If you have a month to do something compared to a year, your strategy can be different. So that's another thing to take into consideration. And then above all that, a time frame is going to help you determine if you are on track on hitting your goal or not. And it gives you the opportunity to course correct so that you can make the changes that you need to make to continue moving forward. All right, so that brings us to the last two letters, which is E and R, which stands for evaluate and readjust. Okay, these two are super important because you need to constantly evaluate your progress, what's working, what's not working, and what could be improved on, so that you can readjust what you're doing if necessary. That way, you can keep moving towards your goal. And I mean, just think about it. One thing that is inevitable, and it's going to happen and continue to happen, is change, right? And it's still life is going to change, and it's okay for your goals to change, which is why I would recommend doing this often. So as you go through life, again, things change, and you may find yourself having different values in life and developing different identity traits. And for me, becoming a father definitely changed my life. And guess what? My exercise and nutrition changed too. And a few years later, when my daughters got a bit older, things changed again. That's just life. It's totally okay. So here are the questions that you need to ask yourself when creating your goals, okay? So what specific outcome or goal would you like to accomplish? What is meaningful about accomplishing this goal? What will reaching this goal bring to you in your life? Is this goal achievable? What behaviors will you need to change to achieve it? What time frame will you give yourself to achieve the goal? How often will you evaluate your progress, and how? For example, are you going to be checking your weight, pictures, habits, so on? And how will you readjust what you're doing if you're not progressing as you had planned? Okay, so I hope this helps you create the goals for yourself. That's going to get you excited. It's going to give you the framework to make all of the goals that you set for yourself and these dreams that you have. You're going to be able to turn them into a reality. All right, thank you. I'll see you next time.